Welcome to this custom deep dive. Is the humble seaweed wrapping your sushi just a salty vehicle for rice, or is it like a legitimate functional food?
Right, that's the big question.
Yeah. So our mission today is sifting through a stack of robust, highly trusted clinical trials to uncover the actual health benefits of nori. Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, when we filter out the noise and look only at the most rigorous data, a really clear picture of nori's utility emerges.
Okay.
So take vitamin B12, for example. There's this rigorous 2024 randomized controlled trial that found eating just 5 grams of roasted nori daily, which is about 4 standard sushi sheets, significantly improves active vitamin B12 levels in vegetarians.
Wait, active B12, that's a huge distinction, right?
It is, yeah.
Because, I mean, terrestrial plants often have that fake B12. It's like a key that fits into the lock of your cells, but just won't turn.
Exactly. But this trial shows nori provides the actual functional key, true bioavailable cobalamin.
That's like a marine multivitamin for plant-based eaters.
Oh, yeah.
But wait, I do have to push back here, though. Doesn't the roasting and processing destroy delicate nutrients like the vitamins?
Well, it's a fair question, and it's exactly why relying on this specific 2024 trial is so crucial. They specifically used roasted nori and proved it successfully delivers the B12.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the light roasting process removes moisture, so that concentrates the seaweed, but it actually leaves that active cobalamin completely intact.
Okay, so since that bioavailable B12 is actively supporting red blood cell formation, it makes sense to look at the circulatory system next. Like, what happens to the cardiovascular system when we introduce nori?
Well, we see a massive impact. I mean, large, reliable observational cohorts in Japan link frequent seaweed intake to significant reductions in cardiovascular mortality.
Wow.
But the real insight comes from direct human intervention trials. Researchers found that just 1.8 grams of nori-derived peptides per day significantly lowered blood pressure in hypertensive patients.
Only 1.8 grams, that is a huge drop for such a tiny dose. Are those peptides essentially acting as natural vasodilators or what?
Precisely, yeah. Nori contains specific bioactive peptides, which are, short chains of amino acids.
Right.
And think of them as molecular blockers. They actually inhibit the specific enzymes in your body that constrict blood vessels.
Oh, okay. Here's where it gets really interesting, because if it blocks the enzymes, the vessels relax, right?
Exactly. By blocking those enzymes, the blood vessels naturally relax and blood pressure drops. It's acting almost medicinally at incredibly low doses.
Okay, but if it's acting medicinally at just 1.8 grams, what happens if you eat it by the bucketful? I mean, more isn't always better, right?
Right. In biology, there is always a ceiling. We have to talk about iodine.
Ah, the catch.
Yeah. Now, nori is significantly lower in iodine and much safer than brown seaweeds like kombu.
Right, that makes sense.
But if you consume heavy amounts of nori, specifically over 10 grams every single day, you can trigger the Wolff-Chaikoff effect.
The Wolff-Chaikoff effect, which sounds counterintuitive because we usually associate iodine deficiency with thyroid issues.
Yeah.
But this is the body's emergency brake, right? Shutting down hormone production so the thyroid doesn't get overwhelmed by a massive influx of iodine.
You hit the nail on the head. To prevent hyperthyroidism, the thyroid basically shuts itself off. So you end up giving yourself a temporary underactive thyroid simply by eating too much of a good thing.
Oh, wow. Okay, so the bucketful strategy is officially out. To summarize for you listening, 2 to 5 grams of roasted nori a few times a week seems to be the absolute sweet spot. That's how you gain the B12 and those medicinal level heart benefits without stressing your thyroid.
Exactly. It's all about precision. Nori is a highly effective tool when dosed correctly based on the clinical data.
So before we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with one final mind-bending fact from the research. We just talked about digesting nori, but it turns out East Asian populations have actually acquired specific gut bacteria called Brachygalacturoides plebeius via horizontal lung transfer.
Which is just incredible to think about.
Right. Their gut bacteria literally absorb DNA from marine bacteria on the seaweed just to digest nori's unique fibers.
Yeah, their microbiomes literally evolved to unlock the nutrients in this specific food source.
It's amazing. It really leaves you wondering, what other hidden superpowers is your own gut microbiome just waiting to unlock based on your ancestral diet?